Good evening, this is Carolyn with Scrapbooking with a Twist, and we are going to make the monthly swap embellishment tonight. The monthly swap over on Ginger's Corner, and if you look down in the description box, you will see all of the links and everything that go with that. And the theme this month is Kodak Moment or something like that. It's Kodak Moment, I think. And so when I decided to make this, I have made this little giraffe numerous times, like for cards and a single layout or something like that. I forgot how many pieces it had when I decided to do it. And so it is definitely a labor of love. So let me show you what I've used. The little giraffe is an Elizabeth Craft Designs die cut set. Cute as it can be. I think I have the polar bear and the lion and the tiger and then this little giraffe. And then I used my film strip that I got at Scrapbook Convention. And then I'm going to show you how I made these. When I want to print like a little sentiment or something like that and do it like in this little frame, I just go into my computer, into Word, and do a table and type it once, and then I can copy it in all of those boxes, and then they all turn out the same, and then I can cut them apart. And that I just copied it on printer paper, and then to make sure that it fit, that it was the right size, and then I copied it on cardstock. So that's how I did that. So this is my second video, because the first one I had a little head that I had not colored or done the eyes or anything on, so that I could show you how I colored in the spots and how I drew the eyes. And then the dogs started barking, and they just continued, and then it was like too much for me to cut out, and then my alarm went off. You know how it goes. So I decided that I would just start over. So here we are, and I'm going to build the little head first. And I just put a piece of solid brown in behind the little nostrils that are cut out, so that you can see them and have that. So that's going to go like that, and then that goes on there. I'll tell you how. I just there is just a little oval where his little eyes belong, and so I just drew the little kind of upside down half moon, and then did that oval and did it a little larger than that oval, because I wanted my giraffe to have bigger eyes. And giraffes have these long eyelashes and just such pretty big eyes. So I want him to have big eyes. So I drew the eyelashes, and then I used my white gel pen and did kind of the little half moon thing and the dots, just to give those eyes a glow. And then we're going to use some foam tape. Of course, I used all of my foam tape that I had cut on the other layout on the other one that I had to do away with. But we're going to put a little bit of foam tape on the back of this, on this nose, so that it has some dimension on his face. And then I'm going to assemble the body next. And so since everything is going to be cut short, I want to go ahead and do the twist while I'm just you can watch me assemble that body, and I'm going to go ahead and do the twist. I heard a little thing saw this thing on the internet or Facebook or whatever the other day, and it said, the best revenge is none. And I thought, oh, that is so true. I'm not good at it, but it is so true. And so I thought, what scripture would I want to put with that? And there are several really good ones that would work with it. But I went to Romans 12:19. And let me get a little bit of glue on this, and I will read that to you. Romans 12:19 says, I think I left off like brethren or something like that. But it says basically, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord. And I thought, I just need to remember that every day. We've all had situations where we've been hurt. We feel like we want to strike back. And that's really not, that's not God's way. And so this scripture to me is just saying, don't take revenge into your own hands. It's not what we're supposed to do. Let God handle it. I mean, after all, he knows everything. He knows who hurt you. He knows what they did. He knows what went wrong. He's a true and just God. And so just learn from that not to take revenge into our own hands, but let God handle it. And so to sum that up, I think it's just we need to be able to move on. We have to heal and move on. When we are seeking revenge, we're not healing. And that hurts us worse than it does anyone else. Worse than it does the person that we're trying to get back at. It hurts us worst of all. It's not a good influence. We don't want our children seeing that that's the way we handle things. And so to just heal and move on and leave it in God's hands. So the best revenge is none. There's another scripture that I really like, and I may have used it before, and that is that when we're kind to people that have been mean to us, it's like heaping coals of fire on their head. Okay, so I'm trying to get this little head assembled. I think I counted 18 pieces in this little guy, and that's not counting, let me get that little piece off there. That's not counting drawing on all the spots, but I think there are literally 18 pieces. I don't know what I was thinking when I decided to do this for this swap. I'm always getting myself into that kind of mess, though. So now we've got the head done, so we're going to set that aside, and let's work on the body. So I'm going to just cut this little piece of foam tape very narrow so that I can put it behind these little legs. I want to put my hooves on. You see, I didn't bother to do any spots there on the insides of those legs because that's going to get covered up with the front legs. So there are our back hooves. Okay, let's go ahead and put our front hooves on. Okay, so our little front legs are complete. So let's put our foam tape on them. Let's see if we can get those turned over. Let's see, it's going to go like that. So I need the foam tape. Whoops, that just kind of flew away. It's going to go like that. So I need the foam tape on this side as best I can. We may have to use our little powder pouch to take some of the sticky off, but we've got to get this foam tape under there because we want these little legs to have some dimension. So put this one on there. Okay. Now we're just going to peel that off, and then we're going to place our little legs right there. And then we can actually put it all together. Better get the lid on my glue before it dries up. Okay. Okay, so here's number one, front leg. And I'm just going to overlap them, and then we're going to bring these little front legs just together right there in the front where they start down. And there's the other front leg. Okay. All right. Let's get our little tail on there. It's a tiny, tiny dot of glue. Okay. Let's get on there. I love giraffes. We have a really nice giraffe exhibit at our zoo here in Fort Worth, and that's one of my favorite spots in that zoo. Okay, I'm going to let these dry just a second while I put together our little sentiment, which says, I've been framed. I'm just going to put some tiny little dots of glue around that. I do little things like this on the computer every once in a while for layouts or for cards, especially when we're making the cards for our shut-ins. Okay, just get that on there. Now we have our little sign all fixed. Now, the first one I made was this one, and I put the ladder up and down, and I just didn't like it because it didn't look like his head was through it as well. So I want this to look like, you know, he's somehow got into a mess and got his head through that, almost like a ladder. And so the next two I made, I did them with it slanted, where it really looks more like he's got his little head through it. And I like that better. So we're going to take our little film strip, and we're going to put our neck through it and just set it on there. I like to kind of cover where those front legs come together. So let's just kind of get it on there where we want it and put a little bit of glue in behind it. Okay. And whoops, I want it on top. I want to be able to see his tail as well. So I'm thinking about like that. Okay. And then we're just going to put a touch of glue right under here. It won't take much to hold this. And then we're going to put our head on top of all of that. So now we've got it held down. And we're just going to stick our little head right on there. I want it up a little further so that it looks like his head is actually through, his neck is actually through that. And I want to see as much of his neck as I can. So let him have that long neck. So there he is. Hold that just a second. There he is with his little neck and head through the frames, and then I'm just going to put that in with it so that it could be used anywhere they need it. I thought about attaching it, and I thought, no, I think it just needs to be free so that whoever gets these can attach it wherever they want to. So I'm going to see if I can give you just a little bit of a close-up, and I hope you have a blessed day, and above all else, be a blessing to someone else. And thank you so much for dropping by my channel. I know you could be anywhere, and you chose to spend some time with me today, and I appreciate that so much. If you're not a subscriber, I would love for you to subscribe. There are so many talented people that participate in our monthly swaps and in our weekly swaps, and the links for those will be listed below. And so just check them out. If you are not a member of Ginger's Corner or you're not familiar with Ginger's Corner, just also check that link out and come visit with us. And just an amazing community and so much creativity when you watch all these different people. So have your blessed evening and be a blessing to someone else.